Everyone, welcome back to Crypto Brain, and before we dive into today's market breakdown, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because here we analyze the crypto markets using logic, data and market structure rather than hype. And if you want to stay ahead of developing crypto narratives, this is exactly where you want to be. Now, today's analysis focuses on a token that has recently started drawing increasing attention across the crypto community, and that token is content reference index equals 0. And Toshi, particularly interesting is the speed at which the narrative surrounding this asset evolving, which is why today's headline is simple but powerful: move fast. Because in markets like crypto, the opportunities that move the fastest are often the ones that appear quietly before the majority of traders even realize what is happening. Over the last several trading sessions, analysts have started noticing structural behavior inside the Toshi market that suggests something important may be developing beneath the surface. And the first signal that stands out clearly is the behavior of trading volume, because in financial markets, volume represents participation and participation represents capital. And whenever we begin seeing expanding volume while price begins stabilizing, it often signals that liquidity may be quietly entering the market. Retail traders usually respond after a move has already started, but whales operate using every different strategy. Large investors prefer entering positions during periods of consolidation when price appears relatively calm, because this allows them to accumulate positions without immediately attracting attention from the broader market. This behavior is known as whale accumulation, and it is one of the most important signals analysts watch when evaluating the early stages of a potential momentum cycle. Because whales rarely chase prices upward, they build positions slowly during quiet phases before the narrative expands, and once the narrative begins spreading through the market, momentum can accelerate extremely quickly. When whales accumulate, they don't place one massive order. Instead, they distribute their entries across multiple smaller transactions over time, allowing them to absorb available supply without causing sudden price spikes. And as this process continues, something extremely important begins forming beneath the market's surface, what professional traders refer to as a liquidity base. Liquidity bases are critical because once a large portion of available selling pressure has been absorbed, the market becomes far more sensitive to incoming demand, meaning that even moderate buying activity can suddenly push price upward much faster than before, and this is often the stage where explosive moves begin. Forming another reason why the Toshi narrative has started spreading quickly is its connection to the broader meme coin culture, particularly the comparisons traders are beginning to make between Toshi and another well-known meme set, content reference OAI1 index equals 1. Davi Shiba Inu worthful community-driven narratives can become once momentum begins building inside the crypto ecosystem. Narratives play a massive role in market behavior because when a community begins rallying around a specific project, attention spreads across social platforms, trading activity increases and liquidity begins entering the market at a much faster pace. And this combination of narrative expansion and liquidity growth is often what fuels the most aggressive rallies. What makes the current situation surrounding Toshi interesting is that several structural signals appear to be aligning simultaneously. First, analysts are observing increasing trading participations. Second, there are signs of accumulation behavior that resembles whale positioning. And third, the narrative comparing Toshi to the broader Bitcoin ecosystem is spreading quickly across the market. When these elements begin aligning, markets often enter what traders describe as the early discovery phase, which is the period where price begins searching for a new valuation level, and during discovery phase, volatility typically increases significantly because the market is attempting to determine the next equilibrium price. However, experienced analysts always approach these situations with discipline because volatility works in both directions. While strong upward momentum can appear quickly, corrections can also develop just as rapidly, which is why professional traders focus more on structural signals rather than emotional excitement. Right now, the most important factor to monitor within the Toshi market is whether the current accumulation behavior continues. If large holders remain active and if participation continues expanding, the probability of a stronger pump thesis gradually increases. And when momentum cycles begin building inside the crypto market, price movements can accelerate extremely quickly. Historically, the largest crypto rallies rarely begin when everyone is already watching. They usually begin quietly, while only a small group of analysts recognize the signals developing beneath the surface. And by the time the broader market finally notices the opportunity, a significant portion of the move has already taken place. For now, the smartest approach is observation, watching volume behavior, monitoring wallet activity, and paying attention to whether the liquidity base beneath the market continues strengthening, because those signals usually appear before major expansions in price. And if the current structure continues evolving the way it is now, the coming weeks could become extremely interesting for the market surrounding. Content reference, OS8, index equals 2. That Toshi. You found this analysis valuable. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more professional crypto breakdowns. Stay analytical, stay informed, and remember, in crypto, the biggest opportunities often begin long before the majority of the market even realizes what is happening.